Hey, if you think that installing timbers just like these is just like playing with Lincoln Logs when you were a kid, you're really not that far off. Hey, in this video we are going to show you how we installed the two posts and the two beams to start our build of the post and beam porch here at the Garden Suite at the Gardens of Castle Rock. Hey, hi, this is Glenn with the Gardens of Castle Rock and Schweitzer's Nursery and Landscaping. Welcome to an episode of Growing the Gardens. This is building the Garden Suite. We've done a lot of filming during this construction, during this build, and time-lapse videos so we could show you kind of how we put it together and how we did what we did. We'd absolutely love it if you could leave us a comment down below on what you see, what you've learned. You could also subscribe to the channel, hit the bell next to the subscribe button, ding, and then you'll be notified the next time we post a video about growing the gardens or landscaper know-how or just something cool we're doing here at the gardens. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Now enjoy this episode. Hey, hi, Glenn here with the Gardens of Castle Rock, Schweitzer's Nursery. All right, we're going to do a little narrative to let you know how we kind of put the posts and the two beams together on this little segment there. If you remember from when we made the metal timber brackets and we installed the metal timber brackets, we had the nut that was anchored down, so that's in the middle of the timber bracket, so we had to cut a little bit of a hole out on the bottom of the timber, and then we sealed that timber up with some white primer. Just any white paint will do that. We want to really seal up that bottom. Once that post is in place, we're going to take a little time, make sure that it is nice and plumb, level on both sides and going in there. We are doing a little bit of a pre-drill. We tacked them in there with some smaller lag bolts, but we are using 4 8-inch by 3/4-inch lags to hold the beams, I shouldn't say beams, the posts in place into the timber bracket. So that's what's kind of keeping it all in place there. Yeah, those aren't going anywhere. And then what we're going to do is make sure that we measure 2-3 times to get that before we cut, because I don't want to have to go cut another timber. So we'll make sure that everything's matching. We have been using a laser all along, just kind of setting everything in place. Now if you notice, On the building itself, there's some 2x8s, actually 4 2x8s on each side, and that's what's created our perch for the timber to rest against the building or to hold up the new building. And as you saw in the beginning of the video, there's some brick there, so all that's going to get covered up and make it look like it's parked there. So second post is in place, and he's doing a nice job holding it there, but we'll do a couple double checks. We'll measure some things, see that we're square, one side there, and we'll probably throw the level on it and double check that again. And then we can go ahead and put those lag bolts in and hold that in place. All right, time to set some beams up on top of those posts. All right, same thing again. These are also 12 by 12 inch beams. We have already pre-cut them. We'll square up the corners and then we'll cut them to length. We are going to use some mechanical lifting to get these in place, unlike just setting those beams in there. So we'll slide this one forward and get ready to put the beams in. So using a skid loader and my little attachment there, and a nice little lifting band, and up we go. And now you'll see how that post or the beam sits right in on the perch on the building itself. We will do a little double checking on making sure it's square, making sure it's level, tighten it all up. And then we're going to use a couple small little L brackets and screw that in place right now, and that will just kind of keep it from moving, keeping it from falling, because that's a good idea. Hey, if you like to work with timbers or have made something fun like this with timbers, leave us a comment down below and say yay timbers, something like that. That would be kind of cool. All right, we're going to set this next one in place here. Sometimes there's a hurry up and wait going on, but we'll get this one in place. And just like that, lining up, sitting on that perch, and then we'll go through that same process of where we're going to make sure it's kind of square, leveled up, tighten it. And one of the things that I always like to do, yes, the level needs to say everything and it needs to be perfect there, but it also has to look right. So every now and then we will stand back and just take a look at it, excuse me, make sure it feels right. Do some more double checking on there, and we will go ahead and get that one sealed in. Now we're kind of measuring up the brackets in the corner. So this is our second timber build that we've done. The first one over there, you can catch some videos. I'll put a little card up above for a link to building the gardens pavilion, and that was a little bit larger timber build, kind of fun there. And now we're going to cut this 8 by 8 timber that we also made with our Alaskan mill, the Grandberg Alaskan mill. Kind of a fun little tool to make this all possible. All right, so fastening these little corner brackets, we're going to pre-drill because we want to countersink. One of the things that we need to do for the assembly code permit that we have is kind of why we're doing post and beam build, and post and beam versus a timber frame build. Post and beam means that you are using metal fasteners in the build versus a pure, true timber frame would be all wood connections and wood dowels in there. But our code for assembly says we need some metal fasteners to hold everything in place, and that's okay. So when we put these in, we're going to be using some 1/2-inch lag bolts. They're going to be 10 inches long. We'll countersink them a little bit so we can put a wood dowel in them to protect that, and we will hoist those brackets up there, put those in place, screw them in. There'll be 2 on each end, and when we finish the top beam, we'll also get a 4 12-inch 1/2-inch lags that'll hold that to the top of the post. Anyways, the next video, kind of fun, we'll be making the beam to go in between the two beams and notching out the top timber and dropping those in place. We'll start measuring that here. Hey, thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. If you could be kind and subscribe to the channel, I'd even appreciate that even more. Leave us a comment, hit that little bell down there, ding, and we will look forward to sharing the next video with you very shortly. Thanks for watching.